Saddam, including excerpts from a CBS exclusive with Secretary Powell, and a look at what Saddam might do if pushed to the brink of war.
This is the CBS Evening News, with Dan Rather reporting tonight from the United Nations.
Good evening. Secretary of State Colin Powell came here today to the United Nations to lay out the evidence against Saddam Hussein. Evidence, Powell says, proves Iraq is not disarming as required by the UN Security Council and is, in fact, deceiving UN inspectors. In a dramatic session of the Security Council, Secretary Powell presented what he called irrefutable audio and photographic evidence that Saddam is hiding weapons of mass destruction. Iraq's UN ambassador called the allegations, and I quote, utterly unrelated to the truth. With the U.S. preparing to forcibly disarm Iraq if necessary, Security Council members China, France, and Germany said the inspectors should be given more time. CBS's John Roberts is here to begin our coverage. John?
It was the Secretary of State as prosecutor today, Colin Powell appearing before a skeptical jury.
Indeed, the facts and Iraq's behavior show that Saddam Hussein and his regime are concealing their efforts to produce more weapons of mass destruction.
With no smoking gun, Powell was forced to connect a set of circumstantial dots for the Security Council.
You will now hear an officer from Republican Guard headquarters issuing an instruction to an officer in the field.
In the rarest of moments, he played super-secret communications intercepts, he said, painted a clear picture Iraq was moving something.
We sent you a message yesterday to clean out all of the areas, the scrap areas, the abandoned areas, make sure there is nothing there.
Recently declassified spy satellite photos showed a chemical weapons lab surrounded by cargo trucks and a forklift. A bunker, Powell said, was cleared out just before a convoy of inspectors, seen in the lower right corner of the photo, arrived. Clear evidence, he claimed, that Iraq was sanitizing inspection sites. And he left little doubt as to why UN officials have not found one scientist who will talk to them in private or outside the country.
They were forced to sign documents acknowledging that divulging information is punishable by death. Anyone who agreed to be interviewed outside Iraq would be treated as a spy.
It was quite a show. On 10-by-10 video screens, Powell explained for the world how Iraq is allegedly producing biological weapons in up to 7 different mobile labs. And he showed video of an Iraqi Mirage fighter jet testing a biological sprayer.
Note the spray coming from beneath the Mirage. That is 2,000 liters of simulated anthrax that a jet is spraying.
But the most chilling moment came in this intercept in which an Iraqi officer tells a subordinate to erase all references to nerve agents from over-the-air or wireless communications.
Why did he focus on wireless instructions? Because the senior officer is concerned that somebody might be listening. Well, somebody was.
Powell also laid out suspected ties between Saddam and al-Qaeda, claiming a bin Laden lieutenant, Abu al-Zarqawi, was running a European al-Qaeda network from Baghdad and had set up this poison factory in northern Iraq. Saddam's ties to terrorism, Powell said, are a threat the world cannot let stand.
Leaving Saddam Hussein in possession of weapons of mass destruction for a few more months or years is not an option, not in a post-September 11th world.
The next step for the United States will be to work actively but quietly behind the scenes to build support for a second United Nations resolution authorizing the use of force if Saddam does not comply. The goal is to get enough members of the Security Council on board so that if France threatens a veto, it will look like it is the one that's acting alone. Deb?
John Roberts, thanks. Just a few minutes ago, I was across the street at the U.S. mission for an exclusive interview with Secretary Powell for tonight's 60 Minutes, too. And to those who said, well, there's no smoking gun, would you argue with that?
What do you mean by smoking gun? How about lots of smoke? I think I put forward a case today that said there's lots of smoke. There are many smoking guns. When we say that he has had thousands of liters of anthrax, and we know it, he's admitted it. It's a matter of record. There's evidence. There's no question about it. Is that a smoking gun? Is it a smoking gun that he has this horrible material somewhere in that country and he's not accounted for it? And the very fact that he has not accounted for it, I say it could be a smoking gun. It's been a gun that's been smoking for years. And I think the evidence I presented today, the information I presented today, suggests that he has not stopped in any of his efforts to develop these weapons of mass destruction.
You can see much more of my exclusive one-on-one with Secretary Powell, plus a rare interview with Saddam Hussein. Both of those, Powell and Hussein, on 60 Minutes 2 tonight at 9/8 Central. Iraq responded quickly to Secretary Powell's UN presentation with indignant denials and angry accusations. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer has that part of the story from Baghdad.
This was a typical American show, complete with stunts and special effects.
Just 2 hours after Colin Powell's speech ended, the Iraqis were on the offensive. An angry General Amr al-Sadi, head of Iraq's monitoring agency, told the world's media that Powell's evidence was manufactured. He was especially scathing about the telephone intercepts he said were not genuine.
From what we have heard, any third-rate intelligence outfit could produce such recording.
As for the satellite photographs, al-Sadi said the UN inspectors have already seen and investigated them.
Everything was explained, and it's in their reports. So that, again, was something which is absolutely unfounded.
Al-Sadi reserved special contempt for Powell's allegation that the Iraqis had falsified the death of a key scientist.
It is really below the level of a country leading the world now to come up with such allegations and ideas.
Time and time again over the past 20 years, the Iraqi government has proven its skill at hiding the truth behind official smokescreens. So it's impossible to know how big a shock Colin Powell delivered to Saddam's officials today. But one thing is clear. Although the Iraqis say they're preparing for an attack, they're also playing for time. They've accused Colin Powell himself of violating the UN resolution by presenting his evidence in public instead of giving it to the inspectors to be checked out. And they hope that an appeal to Secretary General Kofi Annan will slow down the march to war. Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, Baghdad.
The Powell report is by far the most comprehensive and detailed argument the U.S. has offered yet for going to war with Iraq. But how convincing was it? CBS News national security correspondent David Martin has a reality check.
With CIA Director Tenet looking over his right shoulder, Secretary Powell gave an object lesson in both the power and the limitations of intelligence.
What you will see is an accumulation of facts and disturbing patterns of behavior.
With no smoking gun to unveil, Powell tried to piece together a giant jigsaw puzzle of suspicious behavior. First, a satellite photo of a bunker which he said had the telltale signs that chemical weapons were stored inside.
Inside that facility are special guards and special equipment to monitor any leakage that might come out of the bunker.
Then the same bunker after it had been cleaned up.
It was done on the 22nd of December as the UN inspection team is arriving, and you can see the inspection vehicles arriving in the lower portion of the picture on the right.
That doesn't prove Saddam Hussein has chemical weapons, but it sure looks like he's hiding something from the inspectors. The closest thing to undeniable proof was that intercepted conversation in which an Iraqi colonel dictated a message with an unmistakable meaning to a junior officer.
But remove the expression, I got it. Nerve agents.
When confronted with hard evidence like that, Iraq can only claim the tape was fabricated. But some of Powell's examples were based on unnamed sources whose reliability can be challenged. Like this statement about how Iraq is preventing UN weapons inspectors from interviewing scientists.
On orders from Saddam Hussein, Iraqi officials issued a false death certificate for one scientist, and he was sent into hiding.
But it fits the pattern described by all those pictures and intercepts. Other members of the Security Council now have to decide if the intelligence justifies going to war. But with more than 100,000 troops now surrounding Iraq, that is exactly where the U.S. is headed. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
Powell apparently did persuade some countries to support a U.S.-led war with Iraq. The White House today released a joint statement to that effect, signed by the foreign ministers of 10 East European countries, from Estonia in the north to Albania in the south. But as CBS's Richard Roth reports, much of the rest of the world, including some important U.S. allies, seem to remain unconvinced.
China, Russia, and France all found America's case a convincing argument for doing more of what's already being done.
Doublons, triplons.
Let's just double, let's just triple the number of inspectors. Let's just open more regional offices. Let's just go further than this.
But let's not go to war, said France. Britain said time's running out. But the British government's already pledged support for the U.S. and didn't need convincing. Nor did America's strongest Middle East ally, Israel.
I think the case was overwhelming for Saddam's disarmament, either peacefully, if Saddam so chooses, or through military action if he doesn't.
Elsewhere in the region, Turkey today moved a step closer to preparing its military bases for use by U.S. troops in Iraq. And one Arab analyst said, we're heading toward war, whether there's evidence or not. But in Saudi Arabia, the government said it's urging the Security Council to consider an alternative, perhaps including an amnesty for Saddam's top generals to induce them to stage a coup. If that's a doubtful plea for peace, another came from inside Iraq. Deputy Prime Minister Tariq Aziz asked for an audience with the Pope, and the Vatican said he can have one next week. Richard Roth, CBS News, London.
Coming up later in this broadcast, what makes Saddam tick? CBS will have an in-depth look into the mind of Saddam Hussein. Defiance today from the leader of another rogue nation, North Korea, announced it has reactivated its nuclear facilities to produce electricity, it said. But those facilities are widely believed capable of making nuclear weapons. The United States called the reactivation, and I quote, very serious, and repeated that North Korea must dismantle its nuclear weapons program and let international inspectors back in to Korea to verify compliance. And Japan is now considering deployment of 2 destroyers near North Korea to detect any missile launches. Coming up next year on the CBS Evening News, did a piece of foam insulation like this one, striking the shuttle's left wing, doom the craft and crew? NASA's latest thinking is next.
When you have acid reflux disease, heartburn boils up again and again.
As bad as the heartburn can be, the real threat is what lies beneath.
Over time, that burning acid could wear away the lining of your esophagus, and even if your heartburn symptoms aren't severe, the damage can be.
I didn't know.
Your doctor knows about a purple pill called Nexium. Nexium goes to the source of the problem, actually reducing the amount of acid your body creates.
For many people, 1 prescription Nexium a day provides complete 24-hour
Day and night heartburn relief.
And importantly, Nexium is proven to heal acid reflux erosions in the esophagus. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. The most common side effects of Nexium are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Talk to your doctor and call this number for more information and a free trial offer for Nexium.
Relieve the heartburn, heal the damage. It's possible with the purple pill called Nexium.
If you stop hormone replacement therapy, would your bones be protected? Significant bone loss can occur within the first year of stopping hormone replacement therapy. Talk to your doctor about a bone density test. It's quick and painless and the best way to measure the health of your bones. And fortunately, there are once-weekly hormone-free treatments that can actually help reverse bone loss. Why wait?
It's a simple test.
Ask your doctor about a bone density test.
I'm happily married with 827 kids, 2 of them my own. So you can imagine the headaches, the kind that start here and move up right between your eyes.
Deal with a bad headache fast. Extra strength Tylenol. Clinically proven fast on even tough headache pain.
On days like this, it's nice to have control over something.
Tylenol. For tough headaches, take comfort in our strength.
Morning, Joe. New haircut?
No. New shoes? No.
Hey, Joe. You been working out?
No.
Hey, Joe. Shave your mustache?
Nope.
You sure that's not a new haircut?
Yes.
Did you just get back from vacation?
No.
Did you get promotion?
No.
Did I?
No.
No.
What's different? He finally asked his doctor about Viagra. Ready to ask your doctor about Viagra for the first time? Find out if a free sample is right for you. To learn more, visit Viagra.com. Ask your doctor and see the difference.
Back now from the United Nations, where many countries have offered condolences over the loss of Shuttle Columbia and its crew. Some of the recovered remains of the 7 astronauts were flown today to Dover Air Force Base in Delaware for positive identification. Israel says 4 sets of remains have now been identified, including those of the Israeli astronaut Ilan Ramon. In the wide-ranging investigation of what went wrong, CBS's Bob Orr reports tonight there are new questions and some new information about the leading theory.
As the nose cone of Shuttle Columbia was hauled out of a dense Texas forest, recovery teams pressed their search to California, looking for critical pieces of missing wreckage. More than 4 days after Columbia was ripped apart, investigators have not found a single piece of physical evidence to explain what went wrong.
We just saw something very strange in the sky.
911 calls released today reveal that witnesses near Nacogdoches, while stunned, fully recognized the horror unfolding above on Saturday morning.
I know there's nothing you can do about it, but the Challenger was coming in this morning and it blew up.
Investigators still don't know why it happened, but there's been much speculation this incident just after launch triggered a series of fatal failures. Insulation shed from the fuel tank struck the bottom of the left wing, possibly damaging the heat shield tiles needed to protect the shuttle on re-entry. As Columbia neared its tragic end, sensors picked up heat spikes on the left side, and the shuttle began pulling strongly to the left, a scenario consistent with significant tile damage. Rough, missing, or uneven tile under the wing could have so disturbed the airflow, aerodynamic forces may have torn the orbiter apart.
If the drag force on the left-hand side were large enough, they could have lost attitude control of the vehicle, and it would have started to turn broadside to the wind, and this would have precipitated its rapid breakup.
But NASA officials just can't believe the insulation strike could have caused the catastrophe.
Right now, it just does not make sense to us that a piece of debris would be the root cause for the loss of Columbia and its crew.
But during the mission, there was concern. One of the astronauts, David Brown, told his brother the crew looked for damage on the left wing. Virginia Senator George Allen revealed the Browns' communication.
And his brother, and they communicated by email when he was up in space, had actually taken photographs of that wing because they were concerned about it.
The pictures never were sent to mission control, and NASA officials point out that from the crew cabin, the astronauts could not have seen any possible damage on the bottom of the left wing. Dan?
Bob Orr at the Johnson Space Center in Houston. Next year on the CBS Evening News, the mind of Saddam Hussein. Does he know who won the Persian Gulf War? Absolutely. In his mind, he did.
Had it with itching, flaking, dandruff, you need the Neutrogena T-Gel Power of 3. Unlike ordinary medicated shampoos, T-Gel works on all 3 major scalp conditions. Dermatologists recommend it #1. Stop the itching and flaking. Switch to Neutrogena T-Gel. It works.
Marie Callender began every recipe the same way, with care. And her chicken pot pie was no exception. Marie used big tender chunks of juicy white meat chicken, farm fresh vegetables, and a golden flaky crust she always made from scratch. Marie Callender put her heart into everything she made. And to this day, we're still making it Marie's way. Marie Callender's chicken pot pie has a delicious golden flaky crust that's still made from scratch in your grocer's freezer, made with the care of Marie.
When diet and exercise fail, adding Lipitor can help lower your total cholesterol 29 to 45%. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver disease or possible liver problems, and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor about other medications you are taking, or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as they may be a sign of serious side effects. 1 in 5 people has high cholesterol. Millions need treatment. For less cholesterol, ask your doctor if Lipitor is right for you.
At the count of 3, you're going to be a chicken. 1.
Is this dangerous?
No, you don't even need that insurance. 2.
What insurance?
If you're sick, you miss work, they pay you cash. 3, you're a chicken. Now, you're a duck.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Do you know about the purple pill called Nexium?
I know.
I know.
You should know about it too. Talk to your doctor about whether Nexium is right for you.
Find out about the purple pill called Nexium.
As the United States builds what it hopes is an overwhelming military force around Iraq, some Arab leaders think Saddam Hussein should go into exile to avoid a repeat of the crushing defeat he suffered in 1991. Will that happen? Best estimates are not likely. CBS's Wyatt Andrews tonight looks inside the mind of Saddam.
To anyone who has studied Saddam Hussein, the secret to him is no secret at all. The evidence is on every street corner. It adorns every public building. When Saddam looks down the boulevard or into the mirror, what he sees is a great man. More important, what he sees is the world's greatest Arab.
He believes that he is going to be this great Arab leader who unites the Arab world under Iraq's banner, makes it into a new superpower.
Ken Pollock, who once tracked Saddam for the National Security Council, calls Hussein's belief in his own future glory the key to understanding him. Saddam, he says, suffers from grand illusions.
Is this man crazy? Depends on how you define crazy. He's not irrational. But that said, Saddam Hussein can be delusional, frequently delusional.
Delusional because Saddam's ego permits no defeat. In fact, Saddam believes he won the first Gulf War. Maybe his troops were decimated, but he won because an Arab could claim he had faced down the United States.
This was a triumph for him.
Dr. Gerald Post, the former chief of profiling at the CIA, says Saddam's perception of victory in the '91 war made him more, not less determined to have weapons of mass destruction.
After this triumph in 1990-91, he was a world-class leader. World-class leaders have world-class weapons. Big boys have big toys. And
that's what's in his mind.
That's one of the things. And I think it's inconceivable for him to give up such weapons.
So, to those who know him, Saddam is clearly toying with the UN inspectors. Abbas al-Janabi, who until he defected 4 years ago was in Saddam's family inner circle, says Saddam's game is to hide his weapons. He has no intention of disarming.
How can he implement his ambition without them? This is a hitch inside himself.
Saddam, remember, used mustard gas against Iranian soldiers and nerve gas against Kurdish civilians. Most experts believe he will do it again, and they think they know when.
If at some point he does conclude that his fate is sealed, he is likely to lash out with everything that he has. Nuclear, biological, chemical, whatever he's got, he will use it.
To Saddam, violence has always been the path to power. But violence against the West and Israel is the path to Arab greatness. And now, in his mind, destiny awaits. Wyatt Andrews, CBS News, Washington.
Word came tonight of a death in our CBS News family. Lair LeSueur, one of the last of the Nora boys, died today at his home in Washington. Lair LeSueur was among the legendary correspondents hired by Edward Murrow to cover the Second World War for CBS News. Lair LeSueur was 93. The CBS Evening News will continue in a moment from here at the United Nations.
There's a reason RE/MAX agents average more sales than other real estate people. RE/MAX agents want every transaction to be as perfect as possible. With all their experience, they know that a little extra effort can make a big difference to sellers and buyers.
Can you fly?
RE/MAX. Outstanding agents. Outstanding results.
This mop looks like something I've never seen before.
Introducing the new Grab It Mop with unique foaming action to go from touch-up to even the toughest jobs.
The soap and the spray is here that's got the scrubbies in it. I love the spray, it's great.
It's a foaming action that actually I can see it's cleaning my floor.
When it comes to cleaning tough, sticky dirt, you can really see the Grab-It difference. The Clorox mop can't compete with Grab-It's deep cleaning action. Grab-It! The new Grab-It mop. Clean it like you mean it.
You just grab it and go.
If you have diabetes, you've probably handled thousands of test strips. But no more, thanks to the AccuCheck compact meter. Just drop in a drum containing 17 test strips. Press the button and you're ready. 17 consecutive tests and no handling strips. What could be clearer? The AccuCheck compact meter. Look for the one with the drum.
I have asthma. I also have a family. And carpool. And play dates. And 24 kids. Look, I might have asthma, but I also have a life.
Singulair helps you control your asthma. Singulair is not a steroid, and it's not an inhaler. It's a different kind of asthma controller. It's a once-a-day tablet that can help control your asthma for a full 24 hours. It also comes in a cherry chewable tablet for children 2 years and older. Singulair should not be used to treat acute asthma attacks. Continue taking your other asthma medicines unless your doctor tells you to stop or change the dose. If symptoms get worse, contact your doctor at once. Side effects are generally mild and vary by age and may include headache, flu, runny nose, and ear infection. For more information about Singulair, ask your doctor and ask about adding once-a-day Singulair. Singulair, asthma control that can help you breathe easier.
Two disturbing incidents at local schools on the news at 6.
At one school, a student is stabbed. At another, a second grader pulls out a gun.
Back now at the United Nations. The U.S. military said today it has activated 17,000 more reservists as we move ever closer to war. Here are some key milestones, dates to have in mind coming up in the days ahead. Friday of next week, February 14th, Valentine's Day, the chief UN arms inspectors in Iraq are due back here to report again to the Security Council. 4 days later, February 18th, Turkey's parliament will vote on whether to allow U.S. ground forces to use Turkish bases to attack Iraq. By then, U.S. troops in the Gulf region should be at full strength, in position, ready to go when and if President Bush gives the order to attack. The sands of time, fast running out for Saddam Hussein. And that's part of our world. CBS News has a lot more for you tonight, beginning at 9, 8 Central, with 60 Minutes too.
Colin Powell's only interview. Saddam Hussein's only interview. Plus, Ted Turner gives Mike Wallace an earful. Tonight on 60 Minutes too.
Then on 48 Hours Investigates, a billionaire banker is killed in Monaco, and this American is accused. His wife says he's been framed. Can she prove it?
For the CBS Evening News, Dan Rather reporting tonight from the United Nations. I'll see you again soon on 60 Minutes 2 at 9, 8 Central. Have a good evening.
For news 24 hours a day, go to cbsnews.com. AOL keyword CBS News. Countdown to war. Did America make its case? Details tomorrow. Experience CBS News. Next on Coin 6 News at 6.
A second grader at a Tigard school pulls a gun on his principal.
Over half of Oregon's crime lab is laid off. Now, high-profile murder cases have no one to solve them.
And the doctor is out. On a report you'll see only on Coin 6 News, why Oregon doctors say they're being forced out of their profession.
Now, with Julie Emery and Jeff Gianola, this is Coin 6 News at 6.
Hello and welcome to Coin 6 News at 6. I'm Jeff Gianola.
And I'm Julie Emery. We're glad you're with us. We begin the news with some tense moments which happened today inside a local elementary school when a second grade boy brought a gun to class. This happened at Durham Elementary in Tigard. Joel Iwanaga joins us live from the school now with the rest of the story that you'll see only here on Coin 6 News. Joel?
Julie, thankfully that gun turned out to be a toy cap gun, but that was only learned after the young boy pointed it at his teacher. He pulled the trigger, firing it, and scared an awful lot of people. As class let out for the day, word quickly spread that a second-grade boy brought a gun to school.
I'm horrified, of course.
Fortunately, the cap gun turned out to be a toy, which was learned after the child pointed it at his teacher and pulled the trigger.
Scared every